What if you could create a marriage that you liked, full of love and understanding and joy? How would that be for you? We've been there and we've come out on the other side. And we're here to show you how you can have these things in your life today, even if it seems like a rocky road and where you are today seems impossible.
You know, with 45 years of being married and 47 being together now with it too, we've learned a lot of things about each other, but also about life too. Everybody in the world wants to be loved. They want to connect, and they want their life to feel good. And the reality is, in your marriage, you can actually have that. But the interesting thing is, we've seen life coaching people that they look everywhere else but their marriage to try to find those things. We want to encourage you that you can find that within your relationship. And that's why we're here. That's why we teach what we do and provide these YouTube videos for you, because we want you to have the tools to be able to get that within your relationship, because we have proven we can do that. It's already true. And if you'll just apply what you need to make that happen.
Yeah, oftentimes we have what we have our desires and we have what we wanted when we decided to hook hands with this person for the rest of our lives. And then there's stuff that come in and we don't achieve what we're wanting. And oftentimes our actions don't achieve what we wanted. And it's stuff that we're bringing in, which is kind of crazy, but that's what we do. And I think our philosophy is not that you're bad people and not that there's anything wrong with you. It's just that there's a lot of junk on top that's kind of dimming your light in your relationship. So what are the key things that we think need to be there or that we've discovered are crucial to our relationship?
And these key things, they can serve as either your connectors or they can become things that get in your way in the relationship. First off is safety. Being able to accept the fact that you are both different and it's designed that way. And a lot of times, the number one reason why couples fight is they don't embrace difference. Learning those differences can be your allies instead of your enemy. Because if we don't do that, then oftentimes we shame and blame and criticize each other. And so all of a sudden, the space between us, what we're trying to nurture in our relationship, it becomes unsafe. And when that happens, then we can't go from there.
I think for us, the first thing that has to happen is that feeling that I can show up. I can show up in as I am in my relationship. And that doesn't mean, oh yeah, well, I just have a temper. But it just means who I am inside. I can be myself and know that Clay is not going to berate me. He's not going to shame me. This took a lot of doing to happen, because it's easy. We often think that, oh yeah, if you were just like me, then everything would be fine. But to really embrace the fact that differences are good. Yeah. It's different that you are like the organization and you like the planning and you like the thing. And it's good that I'm spontaneous and more relaxed. And these things can be
and fun.
And yeah, a benefit to both of us if we embrace them and don't try to judge you, because oftentimes we have this sense that if we embrace you in your differences, then somehow
I'm going to lose me.
I'm going to lose me, which isn't really the case. It can really be a mutual. It's like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Oh my gosh, I'm wonderful too.
A second one that ties, all these tie hand to hand, by the way, with it too. A second one is when you feel safe, then with that safety comes the ability to connect. And what is connection? Showing up for each other and, in all of life stages. I like to define it as having a passion and compassion, genuine passion and compassion for each other. That you want to be with each other, that you do things like caring behaviors and, do things to nurture that connection and have fun together. We were up this morning, we just snuggled on the couch drinking coffee. Just little things like that create that steady connection. It's not big stuff you have to do to create that, but it's intention. You have to want that connection.
Yeah, and you have to allow space in your life for that time of connection. It really gets hard with work schedules and with kids and all the different influences that come onto you to kind of say, okay, let's go for a walk. Let's do this, and let's get out, and or stay in, whatever it is. But that place where you're my friend,
Yeah.
and I mean, and then you
And
have
I
to
want to
have,
be with you.
and I want to be it. But then going back to the safety has to be there in order for that to be a relaxed time, for it to be okay, because we approach life as very different. We don't even like the same things on TV. We don't like the same movies. Yet we can find that common ground of doing things together. Sometimes I can do things that Clay enjoys, sometimes things that I enjoy, and then there are many, many other things that are out of the box. So finding these things are crucial.
But there are a lot of things we like together.
Yeah.
Too, like watching football or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
with it
taking
too.
hikes.
Yeah. So just look for those things. That's the point with it too. Now, why start with safety and connection? Most people, and especially couples, when they come and meet with us, I want to communicate better.
Yeah.
Great goal. Okay. We all need to communicate better. But here's the deal. If it's not safe and you don't have connection, then you're not going to communicate. Because without the safety, you have anxiety that fires off within you. And if that anxiety goes off, you're not going to connect. So good luck communicating beyond that. You have to have the safety first and then the connection so that communication can happen.
Yeah, healthy communication. How do you stay away from bickering and fighting and all of these types of things? And it is really some skills of listening. We don't really have good listening skills. So how can you let your partner talk and then go deep into what they're trying to say without trying to fix it, without trying to jump in with your point of view, but just really, really listening and understanding and compassion. Even if you don't agree on what they're saying, you can still be there with a curiosity, and then switching it so that you have a time for them to fully listen and give them the opportunity to do that.
Most of the time we've learned that if we're at odds with each other, we're talking in what we call a monologue. We're presenting our viewpoint, why I think I'm right, etc. And a while back, we kind of reached a juncture, I would say, a line on the road, if you will, of, okay, what's more important to you, being right or the relationship? I want the relationship because that's what I need. And I think that's what we all want and need with it too. But if you're trying to communicate with monologue, that's not going to work. So we want to move from, I have the goods, you need them, I'm right, you're wrong, to what we call a dialogue, where one person talks, the other person listens and uses some skills to be able to do that, which we're going to teach you in these videos. And the other person takes another turn and they talk while the other person listens. And when you've got that back and forth going on, it creates a safety, even in the structure of what you're doing, because you're working on, a curiosity and understanding. And again, like Sonia said, even if you don't agree with the person, you don't have to agree on everything, about anything most of the time, but at least it gives you grounds where you're being listened to. And for most people, that's a big trigger, because in our society, we're either too busy or we don't have enough skill in relationship to really listen. And most of us go into marriage anticipating not being listened. So the only way I can do that is me get intense with you and go to monologue and fight with you and get your attention so that maybe you'll listen with me.
And if I repeat myself enough or say it with enough force, then you're going to get my point of view, right?
Nope.
But really, going back to the being right is that coming to a place where, yeah, you can be right. I can be right. How do we make that happen? And that is where the beauty happens, is because I can embrace your rightness because you have your past and you have what your experiences that have brought you to this moment. And I have the same.
When you go to dialogue, it creates a space where you get your voice. Both of you can talk. Both of you can be heard. And it's okay in that space to say, I feel, I need, to ask what you're wanting instead of, griping about what you don't want, because that's what's going to accomplish that. The cool thing about these three, whether it's safety, connection, and communication, is they work in a loop. Once you start bringing those into your relationship, communication will evolve itself right back to what?
To the safety.
That's right.
Right. So if you have that healthy communication where you've been heard and listened to and valued for your point of view, it does loop back to you feeling safer, which can lead to more connection and loving feelings and more fun times, which can lead for a deeper and more heartfelt communication. And so it's this pattern that interrupts that old pattern that we often have, which was either being more intense or withdrawing into myself, which we discovered really
It's painful.
that really doesn't work. And I know when we were caretaking for Clay's mom in our home, we had this big realization that we did not know how to support each other in this really difficult time. And it was, we were trying our best, but until we learned this pattern, to stop that pattern of just doing and reacting, and really created this loop that made all the difference in the world. And we call that the heart life difference. And this is what we desire to teach you. So,
and these three things, we're going to touch on them. You'll hear them many times in what we present, but we want to make sure that you focus on these three things so that you can get the love and the connection and make your life feel so good because you're getting that out of your relationship. So be listening for these key words as you go through the materials that we're presenting to you. And join us in living the heart life difference, because it works. We're still here after 45 years.
And still enjoying it.
And still love each other and like each other.
And looking forward to the future.